to another edition of the Stack Wit Nat Show. I'm Corey National Johnson. My partner in crime to my right, Edward Smokestack Scott. Back here at Daly's Club. Another Saturday evening, kind of late. We had a big showing this today. NFL playoffs kicked off. Just go around the world of sports real quick. Stack. The Miami Heat disposed of the Indiana Pacers last night to take that series in 6 games. They're in the finals. Tonight, as we speak, the Spurs and the OKC going at it. Hopefully, being a Spurs fan, you know, they can wrap that up, get that out of the way. Phillies, I don't know, Stack. They so-so. I think they won today, or 12-inning game. I don't know.
Another one last night in a 14-inning game.
There you go. Right.
Extra innings.
No time. Talking about extra innings, I'm running on fumes today. Had to work. Wasn't here to start. I had to give Stack the key to the pub. You know, but right-hand man, he opened up. Harold, the committee guys came in. Harold King, Greg King, everything. Stack, how did it go this morning? You know, with everything going on, we had a lot of action.
Awesome time, as I predicted the other night in our Thursday night show. If you missed it, you missed some outstanding electric football. Some of the best I've seen. I've been around a long time. That's why they call me a Stack. I'll tell you what. I know it's a glorious day today. You had different things to do. We did have a few guests. Brian Healy came in.
Right.
Kern Robinson.
Right.
And his son Nafis.
Right.
But
for the most part, it was just the guys playing.
Participant. There's plenty of participants.
Right.
There were 8 games today, folks. And we're going to talk a little bit about each one. The atmosphere and the intensity was palpable.
Right.
You could cut it with a knife.
I heard the way you guys had, like, you know, here at Daly's Pub, you come in the door, you come up the steps. I heard you guys had, like, chairs channeled through the weigh-in stations.
Yeah, somebody else came through and set up chairs around each table. Initially, like a dummy, I set up 2 stations. Right. I didn't realize that we needed to have 4 stations.
Wow.
Simultaneously. 4 games going on. And after those games were over, 4 more got played.
Right.
So hold on to your chair, get your favorite drink, get your popcorn,
right.
Get ready for the next half hour or so to find out what you missed.
Exactly. Like Smokestack said, like I said, I had to work today. Mr. National wasn't here, he was paying the bills. Had to work, but everybody stepped up and did their part, you know what I mean? We had to get all the playoff teams weighed in and checked in, make sure everything was on the up and up. You know, it's a game, and it's a little plastic, man, but it's serious. You know, guys spend a lot of money on bases, teams, boards, gas, tolls, so it's a seriousness to it, but we all enjoy ourselves. We think of ourselves as a brotherhood. Later on in the show, we're going to have a special guest with us today. Without further ado, I'm gonna go through the matchups. As you say, Stack said, Thursday night game, we broke it down to you. We were kind of wrong with some of these games, but hey, here it goes. We had the number 6 seed Detroit Lions traveling into Chicago, the 3 seed. That's Darrell Brevard, the Lions, Keith Big Salty Chalmers, the Bears. Keith disposed of them, held the home court advantage. Did away with Darrell 10-7 in that one NFC wildcard game. In the other NFC wildcard game, we had the NFC South Division winning Saints, coached by our young phenom Ephraim Daniels. He played the NFC West runner-up Seattle Seahawks, coached by Jamie Harris. Jamie, like we said, Jamie beat him last year in the playoffs. This year, Ephraim gets a little revenge. He knocks Jamie out. Oh, okay, thanks, Stack. Saints were the 4 seed. Seattle was the 5 seed. home court hell. Saints beat them 23-16. So in the NFC, we had both home teams win their games. Go over to the AFC. AFC wild card. We had the Cincinnati Bengals as the number 6 seed playing Kenny King on the road. He traveled to San Diego. Kenny King to play the Chargers. This game, a little mild upset. Coach Norris McCraw, 20. The Chargers, Kenny King, 14.
And remember, Kenny played Damon tough on Friday night.
Right.
For a regular season
Right,
game.
went to overtime.
To settle the seedings, the playoff
Right,
seedings.
exactly, Stack. Yeah, you're right.
So that was, keep in mind that score, because as we go into the next round, you'll see how significant it was.
Right, so we go back to Norris won the game, 6 seed upset the 3rd seed. In the other AFC wildcard game, we had the number 4 seeded Pittsburgh Steelers, coached by Ernie Grice, going against the Oakland Raiders. And what we always say Adrian Baxter, we always say the great Adrian Baxter. God, whether you like him or hate him, he wins everywhere. One of the most decorated coaches in our game. Today, he stumbled. No other way to say it. Ernie, very confident in this game, beat him 16-7 to advance. So in the AFC, we had one home team win, and the other wild card game, the road team won. Okay, folks. Those were the wild card games. The Stack said it was 4 games, and then that just led into 4 more games. Now the big boys is playing. Now you get into the number 1 and the number 2 seeds in the respective divisions. The guys is waiting with a bye. Let's go to the AFC, keep that trend going. Ernie Grice and his Pittsburgh Steelers, as a 4 seed, traveled to New England to face Damon Lucas, the number 2 seeded New England Patriots. Damon is not only our producer of the show, but he lives in Detroit. We're in Philly. This guy flew, drove, catch a train, whatever, to get his games in. I just want to give kudos to them, Damon Lucas, for finishing this season up. Back to the game. 28-14, New England holds the home court and beats Ernie Grice. Early in the year, at our big thing in Essington, Ernie lit Damon up. I mean, Damon could have said he was tired or whatever, didn't know the rules, but he exacted some major revenge today, folks. He beat him. And the other AFC game, the undefeated, unblemished, unchallenged Ben Creasy Dames, the 16-0 undefeated New England, Indianapolis coach, number 1 seed. Bengals come into town. Folks, these teams played in the regular season. It was a blowout. I don't know what Norris did. He did something. He came to play. He lost 7-0. That was a game, folks. Like I said, our special guest was at every game. He'll give more insight. We're going to keep that a little surprise. Stay with the show. You'll find out who that is. Now we're going to jump over to NFC. New Orleans Saints, kind of mild upset over Jamie, goes into Dallas. Again, we got the number 4 seed going into the number 1 seed. Al only lost 2-3 games all year. What happened? What? Say what? 21-0.
Who that?
The Saints just outplayed him. Al didn't have nothing to say. Al said to a man, he said, I got my butt whipped today. He took his head off.
The Green Lantern was lit to death.
It was. He came in with his little shirt with the Green Lantern.
Had a new board.
He did. That kid got game. And the other NFC game, the number, what was Keith? Keith was the number 4 seed. Number 4 seed. No, he wasn't. He was number 3 seed. Keith was the number 3 seed. The Bears going into San Fran to play the Niners.
Niners were a 2 seed.
Niners were a 2 seed. Niners edge them 30-21. Real close game. I'll get into that game a little more when we get our special guest. And Stack, real quick, you looking at the, you heard the results. Little recap or insight before we take a break. Anything you want to say?
Well, like I said, you know, Thursday night we went through some of this, and you're going to see pretty much 2 back-to-back shows by the time you watch this show.
We had it wrong.
We were wrong about some things. Okay, but one thing we were right about. We said you were going to see some quality football played at the highest level. Okay, maybe not the best in the country, but over a long period of time, the NFL has produced a very competitive league. With tight rule set, fast-paced game, a very strategic game, and we saw this today, and you'll bear witness to it. I also just want to digress a moment. We had some other people here. We got to give props to Jim Hulk Davis for coming in with Damon.
I know.
9-hour drive.
9 plus.
Okay.
Right.
We had Brian Healy here today.
Right.
We had a lot of family issues this morning at a baseball game. Brian came by.
I want to give thanks to Brian. I don't mean to cut you off, Stack, for housing
Outstanding.
Damon and Jim and bringing them over and stuff. Big props to you, Healy. Hopefully everything works out and you'll be back with us next year because he's a playoff caliber team.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a short break, folks, and we'll be right back with our special guest. Welcome back to the Stack Wit Nat Show. We got a special guest, Stack. A repeat guest on the show, yeah. NFL rookie, newcomer, Hugh Moore on the set. Hugh was here all day for the most part. Got a lot of video. Went to about just every table, every game setup. But he wasn't under Jim Davis today. But he's going to give us a lot of in-depth insight on the games today. Like I said, I wasn't here.
I have to say, I know Corey was out. You know, I knew he had to work, but I knew Corey'd be in around 3:30 or so. I'll tell you, except for the guys, Harold, the committee people, Greg, he was great. Everyone ref games. Al even ref the first game. And I was kind of, a little bit out of it. But there was so much going on. But I'll tell you what, Hugh was a very big help today. And quite frankly, I have to say this, I was a little disappointed.
What?
As much as we talked about Neffel and how we thought that thing was coming together, and I know today was a glorious day, I was a little disappointed we didn't see more support from Neffel and from some of our Philly guys. Now I know there's some guys that are closet guys playing in different leagues out of town, but that's another story. But the vast majority of them were either playing or reffing or doing something. And we're not asking you to come here and spend a lot of money or anything like that, but Super Bowl's coming up. If we cook for 60 people, I don't want to see 22 there. So I hate it. Was a rant.
No. I gotta cut that out.
Cut
Come
that out.
on.
Sorry. You gotta let him go.
No.
I'm sorry.
You gotta let him go.
Get out of here.
You gotta let him go.
No.
Smokestack.
You always worry about who's here. You know, since I took over and got my hands on the league, I ain't gonna say take over, put my hands on my imprints on the league, it's just worry about who's here. You don't worry about or find out, count who's not here. They can't make it. So you just go with who's there, you have fun.
It was a positive day.
But you know what? Let me say this. Let me piggyback off of what he's saying. Because I understand what he's saying. There was a lot of great electric football here today. There was a lot of great football here today. And for guys in the NFL and guys in the regular league, they missed the opportunity to see some good football. You didn't have to play.
Right.
You didn't have to do anything. You could sit back
The
and watch it in the fellowship. You could watch it.
Love the game.
You love the game.
How many posts did you send out? Emails, breaking down who was playing, what time we started.
Right.
Okay?
And let me just say this.
So don't tell me you didn't know about it.
My story's well documented. I've been away from the hobby over 30 years. And I came back to the hobby this year. And what I saw last night against San Diego and New England was outstanding electric football.
That was good.
And what I saw,
Playing at the highest level.
and what I saw again today, across the room, from everybody playing today, and some of these games, like I told you, I thought certain guys would win, and they did. Some guys lost that I thought would win.
We'll get more
We'll
into
get in that, but the bottom line is, this was hell of a electric football.
Well, I got a quick one, and we'll start with you. We'll start with you because we already gave ours when you were offline. Today was a game of redemption, validation. Who we thought Thursday night was going to step up and really go far into the playoffs. Saturday night, it's 10 o'clock. Those guys are done. Okay. So I want to ask, Corey and I picked who we thought the most surprising thing that happened Saturday. We're going to ask you, looking at the game, what stood out to you as someone who really ascended or quickly descended?
Well,
what was your biggest surprise?
Wasn't a surprise to me because you and I have talked, and when we were looking weeks ago of who was going to make the playoffs, the one team that stood out to me in the NFC was New Orleans.
Okay.
And I said to you guys, New Orleans is my dark horse. Everybody doesn't see them coming.
So that was a surprise or not a surprise?
No, not a surprise.
Wasn't a surprise.
Tell me to answer the question. Come on, bro.
Answer the question.
What was your biggest surprise? Show it to me. I don't think that's game.
Corey's biggest surprise.
When I looked at this, nothing really shocked me. What did shock me was the next round was when New Orleans beat Dallas 21-0.
All right, that's your big surprise.
That's my big surprise.
Because of the score or because of the
outcome?
The outcome, the score, and the way in which Ephraim controlled that game from beginning to end.
So we got it. We got you.
That was,
Ephraim is your man. Okay. So
no, that was, like I told you, that was my
what do you got? Bases coming
Yeah,
no
he's
bases.
in love with Ephraim.
I'm just calling it like I see it.
He did mention in the email about a week ago that if Ephraim, I don't know who's going to win the game, but if Ephraim brings his A game, I think he'll win and he'll go far in the playoffs. So I give him credit for that. So that was you. And then Corey, I asked the same question. What was the biggest surprise for you? Where you were sitting, although you didn't see a couple of the first round games, looking at all the scores, looking at everything that happened, what was your big surprise?
National seed Pittsburgh beating Oakland. Ernie over Adrian. Yeah, I thought Adrian would win. I watched them play last year, or a couple years ago it might have been, and Adrian lit him up. I just thought Adrian would win. But kudos to Ernie Grice, and the Steeler Nation. Good job, Ernie.
And that was a game that I profiled.
Yeah, how did that game go? What was the difference?
And to me, if you go back to that email that I put out, it'll follow it up with a lot of other emails with the other teams. But when I did my breakdown on that Oakland-Pittsburgh game, if you look at my notes, as long as that game stayed close, that was Pittsburgh's game. If Oakland could open it up and force Pittsburgh into a shootout.
I remember you broke that down there, and you said, coming up next, you never did no more.
I didn't do any more. Some other stuff was going on. Some other stuff was going on. No false prophet.
No false prophet. Oh, I'm gonna come out with this. In this hobby, in this sport, when you say something, you gotta come
People
through.
were waiting for the next three emails. They never came.
That was good, and you just stopped. Bad business.
No, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to put that out there.
Chicago and Detroit. I'm gonna just go.
Chicago and Detroit.
How was that game?
That was a good game, but the thing that got me with that, and looking at it when I broke it down in myself, I thought that Detroit's explosive offense would prevail.
We're getting off point. Let me give you my surprise for the weekend, and then we'll go back to the. Okay, so you said it was Oakland losing to Pittsburgh. You said it was Ephraim's run. We got that.
Right.
For Stack, I have to give my credit to North Cross Cincinnati Bengals. Not only the first game beat San Diego, after watching San Diego play last night, okay? And then the second game to play as well as he did. And just the kind of things I heard about Cincinnati, and I didn't see some of the games, they were like, Norris is hitting his passes, Norris is doing this, Norris is doing that. So folks, let that be a lesson, okay? person they think you were going in the playoffs, you can actually recreate some aspects of your game.
Reinvent yourself.
Exactly. Okay? They are who they thought you were was not true with North McCraw. I give him a lot of credit. And then my second disappointment, second disappointment was or surprise was the Saints over Dallas. The way it happened. Okay, so let me turn it back to these guys. They're going to give you some insight.
I just want to go through each game. I'm going to go through and then get a few more insight. And like I say, we're talking about Detroit and Chicago.
Detroit and Chicago, again, like I said, when I looked at everything, Detroit's offense has been explosive. They're explosive team. Explosive team. He's put up 40 points at least 3 times all year.
Yeah, maybe more.
Right. And then that game was about missed opportunity. Chicago held the ball for pretty much the first half.
Right.
He kept that offense off the field.
That's how you got to do that.
And that's what you have to do. And he did that. And at the end, you know, Detroit had a shot, but I mean, he had to go 90 yards to score.
Right.
And it was too far to go. Again, New Orleans, Seattle.
Right,
again,
what was Jamie's undoing?
To me, now that's an interesting game. The game is 23-16. But
did that go to overtime?
No, it didn't
go to overtime.
9 seconds left, he scores.
Wow.
But what's interesting is, at one point, New Orleans is up 10-0 with the ball, with 3 minutes and change, driving. And he doesn't, to me, if he cashes in on that possession, field goal touchdown, it's a wrap.
Right.
But Jamie played good ball. He got the stop, drove, got the touchdown, got the 2 points, and made it a 10-8 halftime. Because what everyone did was,
what happened in the second half?
New Orleans got the ball back in the second half. So we started the second half, New Orleans gets stopped. Okay, I think Seattle forces a fumble. And Seattle's driving, and he throws an interception.
Oh, wow.
He throws an interception. Wow. And now New Orleans gets confident again. Hey, wait a minute.
Right.
I got this.
Wow.
And they go back and forth, and then with 9 seconds left to go, he hits the score. Now, Jamie missed a lot of passes.
Well, he's not a pass.
And that's the thing. Right. It's the playoffs. Be who you are. Don't go and try and reinvent yourself. Like we talked about it. Yeah, you can reinvent yourself.
On base he got from New Orleans.
But don't go too far.
I don't see it.
We're going to leave that alone.
Right.
But don't try and reinvent yourself. Reinvent the wheel.
So what happened in the third game?
No, listen. I'm going to go to the next game. We got Cincinnati over San Diego. Did you see any of that game?
I saw some of that, and I'm going to be honest with you. That shot, I honestly thought that San Diego would handle Cincinnati.
So the Stack, but I thought, talking to Kenny don't match up, and I know the history of them too. Kenny don't match up well with Norris. And I picked Norris in our other show to win that game.
And he did. He did. He came, and like you said, and he even said that, Norris said that earlier today, I'm playing with house money. Nobody thought I would be here.
Right.
Here I am. Because, again, you and I talked. To me, they're not in the playoffs. But the best team, and I've said this to you, the best team in the NFC that did make the playoffs was Jackson.
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
They ain't gone.
They ain't gone. They out.
All right, they out.
They out.
Next game, Pittsburgh Oakland. Did you see any of that game?
I saw that. I saw that game.
That was my big shock.
And again, I said that I thought that Pittsburgh could win that game if they kept it close, because if you go back and look at the season, Ernie won 8 games by 37 points all year long.
Right. That was the game you highlighted.
Right. That was the game I highlighted. Oakland, on the other hand, he scored 20 points in like 7-8 games.
Right.
And he's comfortable. And I said this, if Pittsburgh keeps it close
and low,
right, that's his game.
So
and
how
that
was
was
the
a
scoring?
game.
How did the
He got a safety.
That was the only score early on.
That was a safety.
So
he got
2-0.
It was 2-0.
Right. So really, that was kind of a turning point.
And I gotta give it to Ernie, his linebackers, and Adrian said that his Ernie's defensive lineman was swimming all day long.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the backfield. His linebackers were making plays. You know, he came to play the game, and to me, that was the matchup that fit him to win that game. If he kept it close and grinded it out, he would win that game, and he did.
So it was really interesting. As these games would wind down, the crowd would shift to one of the other active games.
Right.
At some point after these 4 games were over, guys would take a little break, but it wasn't like a long break. They would get something to eat, grab a drink, and before you know it, we were getting ready for the next 4
Or
hours.
drink some Fiji water.
Exactly.
Well, that's the wild card round wrapped up. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back with the divisional round. More from our guest Hugh Moore. All right, folks, welcome back to the Stack Wit Nat Show. Special guest Hugh Moore on the set. We just went through, guys. We just went through the wild card round of playoffs today on Saturday. Now we're gonna go into the divisional rounds. As me and Stack was going in, that's when the big boys come in. Your number ones and your number 2 seeds. The guys that had a bye, they can sit back, watch a couple games. They're now playing. So, like I say, in this league, we just joined this show. Philly NFL, we play at 2 locations. Roselle Center, well, actually the Mayfair Rec Center, and right now here at Daly's Pub. We have a 32-team league in the NFL. We also, this season, started like a 10 to 12 man league. Enough for guys that were waiting to get into the league, newcomers, some vets. You know, in the NFL we play 16 games. In that we play 8. So it's like half the workload. Guys seem to like it. So while you just joining, this is the Stack and Nat Show. I'm Corey National Johnson. This is Edwin Smokestack Scott. It's kind of like a little wrap-up show that me and Stack started. You know, every weekend, every once in a while, we'll do a special guest. We just recap the game action. And I tell you, the thing is taking off a little bit. Not viral, you know, but within the hobby, it's got a good feel about it. And, you know, me and Stack talk about, do you want to do it? The viewers say to keep doing it, Stack, so we want to keep doing it. You know what I mean? It's everybody says it's good for the hobby. We glad you like it. We want to keep doing it. So without further ado, we got our our guest with all the insight. He saw a lot of the games today. We're in the divisional round. We're going to the AFC. I'm gonna start with Ernie. That was the last game we talked. Ernie Grice and the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to New England, which is the number 2 seed, right? Your take on that game?
My take on that game, I remember when they played in Essence.
Yeah, you were there.
And it's interesting. When Damon came with New England to Essence, he was like the Texas tornado. He just came through, he dominated teams. The 2 teams that stopped him at Essence was the Colts and Steelers.
Right.
Steelers stopped him, I believe, it was 35-21.
Something like that, yeah.
And that's what, again, you know, made me think that, you know what, if Pittsburgh got into a shootout, they could handle it.
They can handle it, right.
But Damon came prepared to do work together. You know what I mean?
He
And
worked
it showed
A little
last
bit of
night.
redemption.
A whole lot of redemption. It showed last night. Shawshank redemption.
Right.
It showed last night the way he handled San Diego. So, and that's interesting when you talk about that.
Play with a little bit of swagger.
Not even just that. That's that difference. You go back, and again, we're in this round. If you go back, you look at San Diego and New England last night, the loser had to play again today. He didn't get a bye.
Right.
Damon won last night, got the bye, was able to relax.
Right.
Slept in a little bit.
Right.
Came in, got everything set up, realized now this is who I'm playing.
Right.
I know what they did to me. I know what I've got to do to stop. And at one point, it was 28-7 in the second quarter.
Wow.
So Ernie, I mean, you know, when you look at the final, Ernie did a good job. Good job, coach. Not giving up, standing in there and fighting.
Right. So it was 28-7 early in the game.
Early in the game.
It was getting ugly.
It was getting ugly, but Ernie found a way to.
Maybe David took his foot off the gas pedal.
No, I think from what I saw, Ernie started to play. Hey, look, you
Figured
ain't
out
gonna
something.
blow me out like this.
Right.
I'm not
Okay.
going out like this.
Right.
You're gonna beat me. God damn it, I'm not going out like this. I'm going out standing up with my hands on my guns, and that's what he did.
So Damon our traveling coach from
Yes, he
Detroit.
is.
He advanced into the AFC Championship.
Yes.
The other divisional game with undefeated Indianapolis coach Ben Creasy Daniels going up against Norris McCraw.
Yeah.
One of the Smokestack's big surprise. Did you catch any of that
I
game?
saw some of that game, and what stood out to me was all year long. I was on a show a few weeks ago. I wasn't on camera. I was off camera, and I added my 2 cents. And we all said, you know what? It's probably going to be Adrian and Creasy for the AFC Championship because we get it. You know,
Right.
Creasy's playing lights out. But when I stop and I look at what I saw the last few days, and the Colts, excellent football team. You got 7 against Cincinnati today.
Yeah, 7-0.
You're going to need more points.
So you think you'll need more?
You telling me you see a chink in the armor?
I'm not saying I see a chink in the armor, but what I can say is this. If you got 7 against Cincinnati,
Well, Cincinnati is a defensive team. Norris is a ball control, 3 yards in a cloud
Oh, it
of dust type of offense.
and I
It's
get
gonna be
that.
so.
And I get that. But see, now this is the thing, though.
So
Now you're not playing Cincinnati in the AFC Championship game.
no, he's playing New
You're
England.
playing New England.
Right, so it's a whole different thing.
I think that, again, with the theme of Shawshank Redemption, New England's full of redemption, because this is another matchup.
Right,
This is a
another chance to
This
get
is
back.
another chance to get
Another
back.
chance to get
Won
back.
the regular season game.
Creasy won it. Because
That's
again,
undefeated.
and essence, and again, I watched Damon come in. Let me say this. I have been away from the hobby for over 30 years. They played at Essence.
Yeah.
And
Creasy beat him up.
And I watched Damon come in. And like I said, it was a tornado. It was a hot lamp run. Pittsburgh stopped him and the Colts stopped him. He got redemption today against Pittsburgh. And I'm just saying, you know, I respect Creasy in his game.
Who scored? What was the run, pass, kickoff?
I missed score, and I'm sorry I can't give you the update on who actually scored.
Wow,
But
that's a tough game.
It's a tough game, but again, nothing against Norris. Norris is a little one-dimensional with Cincinnati.
Right.
He can't throw. And with New England,
Well, all they do is throw. They don't run.
then he's
So-
going to throw. He's going to throw. So that presents a unique match. That's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow with New England and
Know that?
and then
Well, we're going to go back to the NFC now in the divisional round. The first game in the divisional round was the upstart New Orleans Saints,
a dark horse.
number 4 seed, right? Number 4 seed. Going in Dallas to the number 1 seeded Al Harmon. What happened?
Turnovers early. Al, you know, my understanding, Al would start driving, get in New Orleans territory at the 40, pump. He turned the ball early on in the first half. And early on in the first half, it was 14-0. The kid held on to it. And then, he got up 21, and then Al's driving, throws the interception. Well, it's over.
Wow. I know I was talking to Darrell, and Darrell was like, that game's over. I was like, what?
Right.
I mean, it was just like, I guess it just had a feel that Al just never got into the game.
Could get into a groove.
Right. That's what Darrell said. The game is on. Like, what? I was like,
Right.
no.
He couldn't get to
like,
it.
he always come back. Darrell was just like, no. it's
Not
over.
today.
21 points. When I looked at it, I got over it was 21. I didn't think it was 14 nothing.
Right.
And then shortly after that 21. I didn't think that was too large of a lead.
For Al to
I
come
didn't think
back.
it was insurmountable.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Al
Come
be
back.
down 28 nothing
Right,
and
just come
tie
back.
up. What I understand is that Al had a commitment last night. He was out late. He didn't seem like he was himself. And that's not,
You
I'm
making excuses.
not making excuses, but
Al
he's out
don't
late.
make excuses. I didn't even hear
Joe
Al say
Namath
that.
hung out all night long.
Al just lost. Al told me. He was like, he went my butt.
Yeah, like Al said, he went up and he said, yo,
That's
Got
like
me.
me saying I had to work.
Got me.
No, we
got
don't.
me, no
This
sense.
is the NEFL. Al is a 2-time champion.
Champion.
Al is not going to say, "Oh, I was."
I didn't say it was.
He's not going to do that.
I'm just saying he played 2 games today.
Al didn't play 2
Al
games.
played one game.
One
He
game.
played one.
played
Al,
one
he got his butt.
He got it.
He got his bucket. And that's what he told me. Al's my boy.
Right. And he said that. Like you
Right,
said,
that's
he's
what he
a 48 to a man.
Right.
I got my ass
He
whooped
got,
today.
he did. He said. So
I heard
I
that.
don't know what he did.
All my
Don't
HMO.
You know what you gotta give? You gotta give the kid credit too.
Yeah.
He must
I
have
mean,
played well.
he did. He did. He played bad down the stretch of the regular season, losing to Smokestack, losing to Joe Greco, and then getting a forfeit against the Panthers. So he was like, I was like, man, that ain't the way you gotta go in the
But mixed in with that, he beat Lomax. But and also,
way back.
no, it wasn't. It was around the same time. He beat Lomax. And also, the thing, and I said this, the thing that got me with New Orleans was which New Orleans team would show up.
Right.
Because what I thought was going on, and I said this to you guys, what he learned from his growing days, the Green Bay game, he beat Green Bay.
First game early.
He beat them early, but even in that, he almost kind of blew that with clock management. The game against you, that was clock management.
Game against the
Giants, clock
he just
management.
melted down.
He just melted down. So my thought process was going into the playoffs, has he as a coach learned from his mistakes? And obviously today, looking at what we see, kids learn from his mistakes today, folks.
And that advances him into the NFC Championship game. And we got something brewing. We could have the first father-son Super Bowl ever. So
how could that happen? Let's say tomorrow.
But we ain't going in tomorrow. We still got another game
It's not
left.
respectable.
So it's just the chance is there.
Yeah, the chance
Ain't
is
saying
there.
it's gonna
Say
happen.
if Creasy would
Creasy
win,
wins.
the
And then
AFC
Ephraim
would
would
win.
win.
Ephraim would be in, and then somehow Ephraim would play in to the NFC. Then you could have had
He's in there, he's got-
Well, it's just one more game. The last game, you guys are getting all over the place.
No,
Settle
that's it.
down.
That's
So the last game of the NFC divisional round,
Oh, see,
the number 3 seed Bears, who I wanted to upset, beat Detroit,
Right.
traveled into San Fran, Stack.
What do I think? What do I think first as a question? Did you spill some grape juice on your hands or something?
Social law.
What is?
What's this?
Oh,
my God.
yeah.
Oh my God, don't feed into that.
Niner Nation.
No,
Niner,
it's
no, Cardinal
Niner
Nation.
Empire.
Empire.
Niner Empire.
Dynasty.
That's not a nation. It's an empire.
It's
No, we not a nation. Niner Empire was in the house, baby, right there. Brought out the glove.
No,
Yeah, the shorts.
no,
the Niner
no,
shorts was in the works.
No,
It's a shoe
Okay.
there too.
no, is it the
Yeah.
shoes?
We had the
No,
shoes.
the shoes.
We had the Jerry Rice special shoes.
No
on
train though.
the night. We didn't bring the train out.
train.
Bring the train.
How about the bag? How about the bag? Brought the bag out.
It's a
Folks,
new
you
bag.
gotta bring all your props out.
Bag is nice.
How was that game? How was the game?
That
49ers
game,
won 30 to
you know what
21.
was interesting about that game? That was a game that went back and forth and was a game about momentum. Because there was an opportunity in that game for Chicago to put you up. And he did.
Well, he had
And
a
you,
pass.
and you know, and you fought hard, made the plays when you needed to make the plays.
Right. I worked today. I was tired.
We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We're not going to give Harvey a pass.
Nobody
we
wants
don't want
to
to hear
hear
about
that.
two words.
Let's go back to the play that could have changed the momentum. Is that the one where the ball fell off? He had a man wide open.
Yeah.
Talk me through that play. What happened here?
Got a receiver open.
Was he for first down? I mean, he could have got first down. He was
My understanding, he was going all the way, and he just pulls back
and he just goes 10 yards. Like, yeah, he missed that.
Right.
It didn't fall off the quarterback.
Nah, it
No, he
just-
tilted. You counting, and he just
went. And that's those.
But,
And that could have tipped the balance of the game.
But another,
There's a lot of that
play,
today.
but another play, I had I lined up and did a fake punt. I had a guy wide open and missed it. And Keith took over the game, took over the ball.
A fake punt.
Fake punt, yeah, fake.
You say he
punt.
didn't cover the guy.
He didn't cover, right?
You gotta take that.
I mean,
You gotta take that.
Niner Empire, baby. Crabtree, 2 touchdowns. I had
Let's
Joe
not
the
get
Jet
too
Parrish.
partisan here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All right.
Let's
Let's reel it back. Let's reel it
Put it
back.
down.
Right. This is
Put
the
it
Stack Wit Nat Show. It's not the 49er Empire show.
Right.
All right. So now we got the Final Four
Right.
in the NFL, folks. It started with 32. We're down to 14. 4 teams: the Saints, the Niners, the Colts, and the Patriots. If you're a big NFL fan, the Colts Patriots have been a story for the last few years, especially when the Manning and Brady wars. Right now, we got a story going with the Patriots and the Colts. Okay? So, stay tuned. It's about to get serious.
It's about to get hot in there.
It is. It's going to get serious. As Nelly would say, getting hot up in her. Up hot in her. It's hot. So, folks, like I said, we're going to wrap up another show, the Stack Wit Nat Show. Special guest, our boy, Hugh Moore. Great insight, Hugh. We love having you on. Yeah, we got to give him this one. Ow, watch the glove.
It's Cardinal Nation, baby. Cardinal Nation.
I got to throw it up there one more time.
Cardinal Nation. Cardinal Nation.
Easy, bro. Easy.
Irritate the business. I got you.
All right. Stack, any closing thoughts, my man? Today, the season that is, it was.
There's more good football to come. I mean, we can say it's like a broken record.
Can it be?
How you could cut the intensity with a knife. Hey, you want to see some plastic being cracked.
Right.
You want to see some paint being swapped.
Yes.
You want to see knockdowns.
Yes.
You want to see chase downs.
Yes.
I saw guys breaking free for touchdowns and getting caught from behind.
Yes. Yes.
All those fumbles,
sweeps,
interceptions, draws.
Screen
Big
passes,
plays.
everything.
Unbelievable. The whole repertoire. Whatever you thought about doing during the regular season, you had to have that in your tool belt today. Because if you needed it, you had to pull it out.
And I gotta say this, like you just said. If what we just saw today
It's a prelude.
is a prelude of things to come,
Oh,
the next 3 games, because we got 3 games left.
okay.
2 championship games in the Super Bowl.
We got a game tomorrow.
We got AFC championship,
Oh,
NFC
AFC,
championship,
right.
and the
Okay.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Got
3
3
more.
games left.
By the end of June,
If it
it'll be
gets
done.
any better than it
You
was
can't.
today, my God.
Would you pay money to come up in here?
Oh, yes, I would. Yes, I would.
You would have paid money.
I would have paid money. I paid money.
Wow.
Right. Well, like I said, folks, we're in the beautiful, beautiful Daly's Pub.
Story.
They love us here. We love being here. We're in the Northeast. We're going to wrap up another episode. Stack Wit Nat Show. Closing thoughts, my man Stack.
I think you heard it all.
Okay. I think it's time for a smoke. 70 degrees out here in the city of brotherly love, folks.
Love you guys.
It's Saturday night. We're going to say goodbye to you. Be back soon. Peace.
Peace.